Now, money is a major aspect of Cubecraft Skyblock, and I'm sure if you're watching this video, you're kinda struggling with it, and it's fair enough, honestly. Money is very useful, it helps you buy things like spawners and generators and other things like that, and honestly, it's quite a difficult thing to come by if you don't really know how to make money. So today I'm going to explain how to make money on every single Cubecraft Skyblock island. Now, for this first island, which is actually underneath me right now, you can't really see it because, well, I have a lot of stuff on top of it. However, this is the first island, and I believe you only have beetroot, and that's about it. You have beetroot, and you technically have oak logs as well. However, to be honest, you don't really need to be making money until about the 5th island. So with the first island, all I'd recommend doing is simply going to the cobblestone generators that you're given to begin with, and then simply getting your cobblestone, turning them into cobblestone walls, and then you can sell each cobblestone wall for about 50 coins, which isn't bad at all, but like I said, money literally has no real purpose. There's nothing you can really buy with it, or nothing you should really buy with it in the early game. Now for your second island, which, once again, this island is the second island, however it has a bunch of random stuff in it, you have a couple more things that you can use to make money. Namely, you have, I believe, potatoes and cows, and I think maybe pumpkins. However, for this one, it's probably best to just go with a crop. I'd say potatoes, because they're simply really easy to farm in large quantities. Pumpkins do work, and I think there is a quest where you have to get a certain amount of pumpkins, so you might want to consider that one as well. And cows, while they are useful, there isn't like hoppers or anything like that that you can get at this point, so you can't really make an automated farm for them, unfortunately. Now for your third island, I'd highly recommend making a chicken farm. You also have access to wheat, which I believe you also do need a certain amount of for a quest. However, chickens are super easy. Now this is also the island where you get access to enchantment tables, which is really handy because you can get things like fortune, for say getting more crops from a harvest or getting more ores from an ore generator. And so overall it's super important, this island, because otherwise you wouldn't simply have any enchantments, which really hinders your ability to make money later on in the game. Now, for the next island, which is the Jungle Island, there's actually a really good way. This is the first time you will actually be able to make a solid amount of money, and that is with the things that are right behind me. Now, cocoa beans sell, I believe, I was getting about 30,000 from each harvest, which isn't that much now that I'm sort of in the late game. However, for the early game, it really isn't that bad, and also, you have to harvest a certain amount of these things, and there's also a quest for the next island, which involves buying a certain amount of sand, and this can really help with that. Now, you also have access to spiders, but they do take quite a while to kill, especially considering you don't have things like iron and diamonds and stuff like that. And now for one of the most important islands, only secondary to the one that's coming up next. Now this is super important because this is where you can get not only zombies, but also cactus. And cactus is really important because it allows you to automate farms. And actually, as you can see behind me in that little birch thing over there, I actually have things like spiders and skeletons, and also sheep, because I needed a certain amount of mutton, don't ask. But it's really handy, and also when you get hoppers, it makes it super efficient. So for this one, I'd recommend only actually just killing zombies and not using cactus, because you don't have hoppers just yet. But once you're able to get hoppers, then turn it into an automated farm. And now for the Birch Forest, which is arguably the most important island on this list, or in the world, whatever you want to call it. And that's because you finally get access to iron, which means you can finally get hoppers. Now hoppers, while they might sound like, a fairly good thing, but not great, they finally allow you to access like automated farms, which is super important. So you're finally able to make things like an automated mob grinder, and automatic, food farm and stuff like that. And it's just such a handy thing that you really need to appreciate and use, because it's such an easy way to make money. And for this island, in terms of making money, I'd highly recommend killing skeletons and also keep on killing zombies. Put them in sort of a little killing chamber, or whatever you want to call it, and you'll be making tons of money very soon. And this is the sort of thing you really want to use until, well... And that's, of course, until you
so one thing I did forget to mention was that
now, while this might not seem like a very important island, and for the most part it isn't that important, you do get access to one thing, which is a huge money-making thing,
that is for this island.
Which is even used for the next islands until you're able to have enough money for creepers, and that is pigs. Now, cooked pork chops sell for a lot of money. Not as much as gunpowder, but way more than all of the other money-making methods. So I'd highly recommend making a mob grinder like this. Now, this mob grinder right here is actually for both pigs and creepers. And as you can see, the tough ones don't actually die. But that's because I have spawners that are above level 1. And obviously, normally you wouldn't have to actually make it this high. But like I said, above level 1 spawners. And I want to make sure the pigs actually die. However, if I was to open this chest, take a stack of cooked pork chops, and then simply sell. Cooked pork chops. 64 goes for 19,000, which means 1 goes for 300, which is a ton of money, especially when you consider that bones only sell for 22,000, which is actually more. However, you have to think about the fact that pigs not only are way easier to farm and are way easier to kill, but they also provide a food source as well, which is really important because food is very annoying to obtain before, and the only thing you really need for it is access to the Nether so that you can get a couple lava buckets. So once you've got that gold quest and you've got enough gold and stuff like that, you can really just go to the Nether and start making money in a super efficient way. But make sure to keep on having your skeleton and zombie grinder going, just because it will still make a lot of money. And now we reach the kind of end game, I guess. Now this is the island where you will start making money that you will keep on using the same method no matter what island you're on. Now you get 2 important things for this, and one of them is carrots and the other one is creepers, and I'll show you the creeper thing in just a second. However, it is literally just the thing I showed earlier. Now carrots as well, they are important because they provide a great food source. I'm actually using mutton at the moment because, well, you also get sheep on this island, hence the one up there. However, normally I'd be eating golden carrots, and I have a chest basically full of them. And carrots as well, just as is, are a good money making method, especially if you have a large farm. But if you want a lot of money, I'd highly recommend building a creeper farm, and here's why. A stack of gunpowder alone goes for 64,000. And this is really good. This isn't like, oh, well, an entire harvest will give me 30,000. This is only a stack. Bear in mind you can make probably about, depending on how large your farm is, between like 10 to 30 stacks an hour. That's a lot of money. That is a ton of money. And this is the thing that will sell for the most amount of money, while still being easy to farm. And you will be using this even for the next island. However, there are a couple things in the next island which are also important. Now, for the next island, you basically get just sort of every single mob that you can find in the overworld. Now, this can be really handy because you get things like more creeper spawners, and I believe you get another pig spawner. I could be wrong on that one. And obviously, as you can see, there are still mobs here from where I just haven't cleared it out because I haven't really had this island for long. However, with this you get 2 new mobs, I believe, which are the witch and the slime. Now, the witch doesn't really drop anything of importance, really. It gives you a couple new things. However, slime balls do sell for 500 coins. However, to make a slime farm is a lot more complicated and requires a lot more effort than a creeper farm or a pig farm, so I wouldn't really recommend using it as a way to make money. Now, you do also get sugarcane, which does sell for quite a bit, but once again, you really want to get as much money as you can in a small amount of time, and sugarcane, I believe, takes like 12 hours to grow or something like that. It's something ridiculous like that. So yeah, so honestly, this island isn't that important for making money. You do get a couple new methods and a couple new resources. However, none of them really make as much money as the farms you've already made to make money for the previous islands. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative, funny. I don't know, whatever you watched it for. I hope you got what you wanted. And yeah, let me know if you guys have anything you want me to talk about or suggest or anything like that in the comments. And I'll see you guys around. Subscribe.